I'm Jason, the world is yours, and today we have a story about Twisters. Release date has been set for 2022. The sequel to the hit 1996 tornado disaster epic movie Twister, aptly titled Twisters, has had its release date announced by Universal Pictures. Variety is reporting that Universal has slated Twisters for a July 19th, 2024 release date, putting it up against Transformers: A New Generation that day and Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts a week later. Lee Isaac Chung is reportedly being eyed to direct Twisters, while Mark L. Smith is set to write the screenplay. The original movie Twister was directed by John DeBott. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The first installment followed Storm Chasers Bill Hardy and Joanne Hardy, who were in the midst of finalizing their divorce. The pair reunites during a severe tornado outbreak in Oklahoma, where they are able to test their weather tracking device that will improve lead times on tornado warnings. Okay, the original movie was a critical and commercial success with a worldwide gross of over $495 million. And it was also starring someone who did, I guess, recently passed away, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Now, this does not state who will be in, and why doesn't it... Did it not say anything about Bill Paxton? Yeah, this Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt were the lead actors in the first movie. I don't know why that's not in this article. Is that not there at all? Yeah, when he said the doctors. The first movie directed by John DeBont. The first installment follows Storm Chasers, Bill Hardy, and Dr. Joanne Hardy, who were Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. So it does not say if those two will be returning for Twisters. Does not say who are any of the actors in this movie, and how is this going to be like a part two of, it really has, the original movie came out in 1996. So, I mean, it's been a and when the follow-up, I guess, I don't know if this is a part two because it's called Twisters. I have no idea how this is going to be. I'm a little bit worried that, with it being up against Transformers, with it being up against Marvel Studios, Thunderbolts, that the CGI can get it can get disgusting, right? Tornadoes are fierce. Tornadoes are real, right? So you don't really have to go crazy and make the tornado basically take over, like Sharknado type of where it's just embarrassing at that point. The first Twisters, it's almost like Jaws in many ways. We don't really hear many stories about tornadoes and things like that. So when Jaws came out, people were afraid of sharks and going into the ocean. And, when the original Twister came out, people were definitely afraid of tornadoes. We don't really have many stories about tornadoes. We don't have much news coverage about tornadoes. I don't know if it was filmed in Oklahoma, but that movie hit hard, right? 1996, I remember, I believe my grandmother took me to see that movie because when I was a kid, I always talked about like meteorology and, fascinated by weather. So my grandmother did take me to see the original movie in the theaters. And I have to admit, I didn't really enjoy the movie in the theaters. I remember when I was a kid, but the movie ended, and I think like in the middle of a tornado, and this is kind of CGI type stuff, but like they're like in the eye of the tornado, and I think they took off his belt. Right? Am I wrong? I think he took off a belt, and somehow they survived the tornado, being held, by a belt. It was, I mean, come on, So as much as great as it was, and it was a great movie, and that scene right there was pretty terrible. I'm just hoping that the Twisters new movie isn't just disgusting with the CGI, with it being up against Transformers and with it being up against Marvel Thunderbolts. I just hope it's just a good, dramatic movie. The first movie was great because it was, there was the relationship of these two storm chasers who were finalizing their divorce, and his new partner really didn't really understand his love for tornadoes. And when she looked at Bill and Joanne, and she was just like, I don't think I could ever get in between these two people, because they just love chasing storms so much that it's just, even if they aren't meant to be together romantically, they're going to be together, professionally, because even just this scene right here, you could see they're not looking at each other lovingly. They literally are looking at the tornado like love. This is what they really, 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 really loved in life. And I just love that part of the movie. As I said, as a kid, I was super, super, super fascinated with meteorology. So I went with my grandmother to see this movie. So that part definitely hits hard and hits close to home. Now, Twisters, like I said, I don't know if this is even a part two, right? Will Bill Paxton and Heather Hunt be in that movie? This is all we have is a release date, which is a little bit weird. I don't know if, it says something about Mark L. Smith is set to write the screenplay. So, I mean, the movie hasn't filmed. The movie doesn't even have a screenplay, but somehow it has a release date. That is, I didn't know that's how a movie works. I'm a little bit shocked about that. But let me know your opinion of this story. Are you looking forward to Twisters? And have you seen the original Twister? I would give it, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Like I said, I just hated the end when he put the belt on a pole and somehow they survived. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't a belt. Maybe it could have been something else. I thought it was a belt. I haven't seen a movie in a very long time, but I thought he had a belt or something, and he wrapped around a pole, and they're in the middle of the tornado and they survived the tornado that way. I was just like, come on, what are we doing out here? But I'm Jason. The world is yours. Today we had a story about Twisters. The follow-up, I don't know if it's part two, but they're calling it the sequel to the original Twister movie. Has a release date set for, when was it? July 19th? Yeah, July 19th, 2024. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.